The ship blew up.
Well,
No one was around to hear him, no one to join in the suffering. Everything that breathed on the planet was only concerned with killing, only wanted to cease suffering. He spoke not to be heard, but because he had nothing else to do.
I'm fucked.
He watched the multicolored fireworks of his beloved fighter ship implode. Against the alien night it was almost relaxing, phasmic darts and plumes of electric grandeur, popping and whizzing like the rattles of a dying dragon. When the show ended only he remained, sitting on the brown dirt, doomed. There is a strange hiccup in the anatomy of people, a sadistic twist of the DNA that serves to only play games on us. Tex was crash-landed on the most hostile planet the Federation had ever seen, without gear and without rescue, yet, even with the sound of blood raptors already bounding through the forest, with the sound of claw birds flapping their awful, silky wings, Tex still had hope. The first couple of days were every definition of hell. He was prey, a mouse in the land of lions. With a tenacity only accessible to those battling death, he refused to give up. He tunneled through the thick brush, squirmed in the mud, hid under massive trees. His food started with bugs, with small roots and plants that he hoped wouldn't kill him. Many made him sick, some he thought had finally done him in, yet he persisted. When days evolved into weeks he evolved into predator. His mind had adapted quickly to the speeds of the jungle. Life was a crashing waterfall, you bounced and moved, you flowed and you spun, but you never stood still. The hunt wasn't methodical, it was fast and ruthless. He never stopped his jog, always he had to be moving, constantly he was on the prowl. The moment something showed up in the bleeding edges of his peripheral he attacked. No second thoughts, no planning action. Immediate, unbounded violence. Things disappear quickly in the deadly planet, even bones don't last more than a week. The first time he saw another human skeleton he thought it was a ghost. As he ducked and dived through the greenery he caught a fast glimpse, a passing visage. It didn't make sense, but his eyes had become too sharp to lie to him. He saw what he saw. There was no home, no inner map. Tex thought the jungle and ground moved. If you made a hut it wouldn't last. Even the trees got hungry. Sleeping could barely be called rest, the eyes were closed but the mind never stopped listening, never halted its horrid fear of becoming prey. Tex had learned how to rest while jogging, turn off some strange internal parts of the brain and just stay moving. Even the jungle itself chased him. As he got faster, got stronger, so did the world. Not once did it ever become easier, in fact, time only pressed on him more. Animals constantly stalked him, every day he had to battle for his life, hoping that the poor spear he'd made wouldn't break. More and more they piled onto him. It was deafening, he was choking on survival, being crushed by the weight of primal hatred. But he persisted. One day, months or years into his crash, something snapped. As he pounded through the forest his ears heard every bug, his eyes saw the details of every shadow. He felt it, felt the change. Something in his veins pumped out into his muscles, writhed in the nerves of his mind and filled the edges of his lungs. Hunting wasn't even a thought, it was an instinct, a blink of action that required no oversight. His heart thumped to the tune of his feet, his hands moved with the swiftness of the breeze, everything, his entire person, it alchemized with the forest, it merged with the planet. He was no longer human, but pure, instinctual animal. He was one with the planet. It was only then that he was allowed to see it. Running through the woods, avoiding branch and root, he popped out into an open field. The planet never had fields. Naturally his movement didn't stop. Without thought he kept his momentum and charged into the field, analyzing it with quick and efficient swipes of his eyes. A building, concrete and square with only one door. One door and a sign. It was a poem. Could he even still read?
Cursed be the man who is both, for he is God's broken toy. Cursed be the man who knows both, for he is welcome nowhere, he only persists.
The door opened, exposing a staircase down into the earth, long and iron. With a biting jaw and memories of humanity, Tex felt he had no other option. Behind him lay the forest that didn't rest, the hunt that never stopped. He descended the stairs. Yet, his senses had grown too keen to let him lie to himself. The stairs reminded him of humanity, but he knew he wasn't going anywhere humane. He was going deeper.